Welcome everybody from Spark Systems YouTube channel. It's great to have you here today. We're continuing our look at our urban parking system that's been developed in Enterprise Architect. My name's Scott Hebbard and I'm joined by Stephen Maguire. Welcome Stephen. I understand we're looking at a goal realization viewpoint in Archimate today.
Yeah, that's right, Scott. And thank you for the introduction. Always a pleasure to be here. The goal realization viewpoint is an important viewpoint for users to understand how goals are refined into more tangible goals and then down into things like requirements. So let's get into this. Let's make a start. As always, I go into the top right-hand corner of the application and I'm looking at perspectives here. I've been doing some code engineering this morning. Let's drop that down, look at the sets, and we want to do enterprise architecture and Archimate. We click on that perspective, the tool changes its focus into an Archimate language and framework tool. We've got a number of patterns here already defined. I'm not going to go over those, but I encourage you to look at those and get the productivity gains you'll get by just injecting them into your model. But as always, Scott, I like to do things from first principles. And so I'm going to close the builder page and start from first principles. So let's find a location for this in our repository. We're going to look at the enterprise node there, and we've got enterprise architecture there, business architecture. So we come down through a number of levels there. So let's have a look at a viewpoint. We're creating a viewpoint here, and it's the goal realization viewpoint. So we'll use our friend, the new package icon in the project browser toolbar. I click on that, and I'm simply going to type in the goal realization viewpoint, and I'll click on that. And as always, Scott, I like to put notes in for these things. I'll leave that out just for the moment, and I'll come back to that a little bit later. So let's get started with this viewpoint here. What I'm going to do is create a new diagram using, again, an icon from the project browser toolbar. Click on that, and we're going to look at this goal realization one. Let's have a look and see if we can find it. There it is there under the motivation group. We'll click on that, goal realization, and create diagram. Enterprise Architect then specifies the elements and connectors that are available for this particular viewpoint. And we're going to get started with this, Scott, and we'll start putting some elements onto this diagram. And let's have a look at that. So let's put a goal onto the diagram first. And this is a goal that the parking meter system would be interested in, reduce traffic congestion by 15% in the first year. So we put that in, and let's look at putting some notes into that element as well. So we'll go to our notes window, drop some notes in there. So decrease unnecessary vehicular circulation and improve traffic flow through the strategic parking management and information systems. So that's a very kind of broad endeavor, broad goal. We need to break that down, and that's what the viewpoint's about. We're going to create another goal in here, and we'll drop that into the diagram, and we'll call it reduce parking search time by 30%. So notice these goals have got some quite specific quantitative values in them, and let's put some notes in for that one. So this goal focuses on minimizing the time drivers spend searching for parking. Always good to put the notes in, Scott, so that people can understand exactly what the particular goal is about. I'm going to create a relationship now between this higher level goal and the lower level one. I'll do that by using the quick linker, and I drag that from that goal and into the middle of the lower goal, and I'll say aggregation of, and you can see now that an aggregation connector has been put in there, and we can continue this through and do put in other goals. So let's put in one more goal here again to show that this thing is made up of.
So while you're doing that, what does the aggregation connector actually mean?
So Great question, Scott. The aggregation connector is saying that the lower goal, the one that's not on the diamond end but on the tail end of this connector, is like a part of or it's composed of. So the one at the diamond end is said to be sort of have aggregation or made up of the other goals. So so it's like a container system, if you like, that these other ones are contained inside there. And we'll just do the let's put that out there, and we'll just get the notes for that connector. I've just put the name in there. So let's get those notes and put that in. That gives more detail than just the name. I'll put that in. Targets inefficient use of parking infrastructure, and again we'll put that connector in, and we'll say aggregation of. We'll put in one more element, Scott, that will kind of help us understand how principles relate to this. So let's put in a principle here now from the toolbox, and we'll put that maybe underneath this one, and we'll give it that there, and we'll give it some notes as well that explain what the principle's about. And we're going to connect that. We can use the quick linker again, and I'm going to use the realizers, or we can use the influence or the realizers. I might use the realize one for the moment. Okay, Scott, we've started this diagram. Let's get you to perform some of your time travel magic, and I'll complete the diagram and we'll see you back here in a few seconds.
Welcome back, Stephen. We've done a little bit of editing magic and the diagram is now complete. So perhaps you can tell us a little bit about the goal realization viewpoint and what you've done to complete the diagram.
Thanks, Scott. Glad to be back. You can see that we've added some elements lower down in the diagram. When we left off, we had a number of goals that were aggregated up to a common goal. We added one other goal over here as well. So let's have a quick look at that. Improve traffic flow. I'll just use the pan and zoom window there to zoom in a bit on that element. And you can see improve traffic flow in high congestion areas by 20%. So some very real, goals that the managers are trying to improve on the parking the parking meter system. And we've got reduced parking search by 30% there, increased parking space utilization by 25%, and of course this one over here. Now these are linked to principles, so that's one of the other elements that you can have in a goal realization viewpoint. And this one here is seamless digital experience, transparent pricing model. And let's just follow that down. What we have down here are requirements, Scott. So these requirements are realizing the principle, which in turn is linked back to our goal. So mobile application with navigation to available spots. So you can see how that would help reduce that the problem of that reduced parking search time by 30%.
Because the app tells you exactly where you need to go. Yeah,
exactly, Scott. And real-time parking availability system, that's going to have some smarts in it as well, with sensors and all sorts of other devices and mechanisms. So that's the goal realization. You notice that all the elements are the same color because they're all part of that motivation set of Archimate, but we've dynamically colored the connectors by using this dynamic legend here. So I've put that onto the diagram, and you can see now that the connectors are colored there, and you can see that the aggregation connector is that orange color, and the realization is the purple color. So that's it for the goal realization viewpoint, Scott. I encourage people to practice this on their own repositories and use the power of Enterprise Architect to create these diagrams.
Thanks very much, Stephen. Greatly appreciated. To our audience, as always, you know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. We look forward to seeing you at the next one. And if you want to reach out to Stephen, his credentials are listed in the description below. Thanks very much, and appreciate your time, Stephen.
Always a pleasure, Scott.